fresh round of hardware leaks for Xbox's next generation console implies that it will not only be more powerful than Sony's upcoming PlayStation 6, but that could also be a console PC hybrid, and it's coming in 2027. Welcome to Inside Games, the only gaming news channel to be a little excited for what Xbox is cooking up.
Yeah, I guess we already forgot about the price increases, which means, hey, we can get excited about this until we see the price tag. And then it'll be time to mourn and complain and light up those forums with a bunch of angry posts. But this is the fun part. Anything's possible now.
That's right. It could be $100, Lawrence.
Xbox did it. They won.
YouTuber Moore's Law is Dead has dropped an updated spec sheet for Xbox and AMD's next-gen console, codenamed Magnus.
God, that is really cool. And it's even cooler when you say it, man. The specs themselves, they're about as exciting as specs usually are, which is, unless you're a mega nerd, it just looks like a ton of numbers that were bigger than the last numbers. And I gotta be honest, I don't even remember what the last numbers were at this point. So I think rather than just rattle off all the numbers like a grocery list, we'll just summarize the context of those specs. Like what do they mean, or what will they mean? Especially in comparison to the PlayStation 6, codenamed Orion.
Yeah, absolutely. So for starters, Magnus would already be more powerful than the leaked specs PlayStation 6, codenamed Orion. Magnus is set to have 68 RDNA 5 compute units rendering its graphics, while the PlayStation 6 will only have 52. That's 68 versus 52. That's, what is that, 16 more? Bang.
16 more, man. That could turn into a lot of graphics. PlayStation 6 over here looking like Pong. Magnus' CPU will have a total of 11 cores compared to the PlayStation 6's 9.
Oh, boo.
Yeah. There's some texture there, they're not all the same cores. It's a little asynchronous, but still it looks like Magnus has just got the beef.
Yeah. The caveat here is that the extra power may not matter, as we have known. When it comes to computer specs, Moore's Law is Dead speculates that this power could make the difference between running a game at 4K 120 FPS or 4K 144 FPS.
Yeah, techies and PC dorks like me will care about it. But, that output to the TV will probably be indistinguishable to a more, true casual console player.
Yeah, absolutely. Xbox Magnus's main processor will be a surprisingly large chip composed of 2 chiplets. I love that word.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's great. One of those chiplets is the same GPU die that will ship in PC desktop Radeon cards.
The other is a system on a chip, or an SoC, that contains a neural processing unit that can run Copilot tasks without taking resources from the rest of the console.
To Moore's Law is Dead, a lot of these features imply a PC hybrid design. So the 2 chiplet design, or a bridge die, will cost more to manufacture than the monolithic die in the PlayStation 6.
Additionally, Moore's Law says, quote, it directly shares parts with RDNA 5 graphics cards meant for desktop.
Ooh, that's nice. So by his thinking, the only thing that justifies increased costs is valuable functionality, some kind of PC hybrid that can run Steam and or Microsoft Office Suite.
Boy, booting up my Xbox to open Outlook. God, ugh. But it could mean something to somebody, or it makes it a good kit to travel with, I guess. But one thing that I noticed is that the addition of a dedicated neural processor also mirrors the design that you see in the ROG Xbox Ally X.
That's correct. That implies some feature set could be shared between both devices, and one is already trying to be a console PC hybrid. We know that about the ROG Xbox Ally X.
Yeah, it's also hard for me to believe that Microsoft would invest that much effort into curating Windows around a handheld device that they're only going to ship on that one thing. I mean, if it tanks into the ocean when it launches this week, I think. I guess it might be the only one, but Microsoft doesn't usually make entire editions of their software for something that's only going to ship on one device.
Absolutely. Moore's Law is Dead even points out that a console PC hybrid could help Xbox find its console niche, because they haven't been able to beat PlayStation for years.
Yeah, here he referenced a video by Xbox founder Laura Fryer. We actually have covered her videos in the past. And in that video, she explained that Xbox doesn't really have the console niche that Nintendo or Sony have found, and that Nintendo has world-class exclusive software. If you want to play Mario, Donkey Kong, you got to get a Switch. Or they have gimmicks and stuff that sell it. Whereas the hardware developers at Sony are world-class. They've been making electronics best in the business for decades now. So they have just an incredibly efficient manufacturing and engineering chain that mean they can make these PlayStation consoles at extremely low cost and sell them at a good margin.
And then what does Microsoft have? Well, obviously, they've got Windows, right? They've had Windows. That's what makes their company. So a hybrid console device would finally leverage their greatest strength, which is PC gaming and Windows. Everybody's got Windows.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is Laura Fryer brought this up in one of her videos too, at the foundation of Xbox, that was originally intended to be the goal of the device, was to bring DirectX, their unified game development platform, to a console, so that you could develop a game on PC, just plop it onto you could develop a game on PC, plop it onto a console, and then boom, you have finally unified development structure. Because back then, man, game consoles were just different universes in terms of their hardware. And now, as we see, we get an Xbox console that's just straight up using desktop PC graphics in its composition. So we're finally getting, I think, back to that vision of a console, a living room console that is essentially PC in its hardware, PC in its software. But hopefully, and this is the thing, I don't know if they're going to actually be able to thread the needle on, has an interface that you can use via a controller. And when you think about it from that perspective, and this is me thinking hopefully into the next 2 years, because I love PC gaming, and if Microsoft is finally going to throw their weight behind that in a non-gated system, that's awesome. The Xbox Ally, that is, it's on deck right now, it's actually pretty brilliant, because I guess that becomes their market testing for whatever interface that may ship on this next Xbox PC console hybrid. You get 2 years with some of the more forgiving customer bases, the tech dorks again, like me, that are willing to buy expensive hardware, they're willing to test it, explore it, find all the little UI problems, and then Microsoft can iron them out, make a more, harmonious relationship between the console ecosystem and Windows. And if they can roll out a console that is essentially like a Steam Deck, or what was supposed to be the Steam Box, a gaming OS shipping on an OEM manufactured PC, that it's a weird device. People have had the idea, but never really been able to bring it to market. But if Microsoft pushes it through, I don't know, that's really exciting. I don't think it's ever gonna compete on the same tiers with a Switch or a PlayStation, because they've got those whole markets hammered out. But that could be very exciting if you can buy a home console that can access Steam, can access good old games, can access all of the stores. You could have a lot of very cheap games, and I don't know if people are going to be able to break the comparisons in price. If a Xbox PC is sitting right next to a PlayStation 6. Though I think the PlayStation crowd is probably one for life at this point, but Xbox might be able to grab people in China, might be able to convert older gamers now that are maybe getting a little exhausted of paying really high prices on games, not on hardware specifically. So I think I see the vision, and I think I agree with it. The question mark is just whether or not there's a market there for it.
Yeah, so that I see two major problems. Number one, I don't know about the market for this. The Xbox Ally X, the ROG Xbox Ally X, whatever it's called, that will absolutely find this market. Because if it doesn't find the market, then I don't know what Xbox is going to do in 2 years. They're launching that handheld in a very strange macroeconomic condition. I don't know that people are going to want to spend $1,000 on a handheld that is sort of their testing ground, because you're absolutely right. It is their testing ground for this Windows and Xbox combination gaming PC, whatever it is. And I'm not saying that it's bad or good, because I don't know yet. But in terms of launching it and people spending money on it, I don't know how well that's going to go. I think back to Windows Phone. I tested Windows Phone, so this is back when I was reviewing like gadgets and phones and things like that for work at Attack of the Show. I was reviewing Windows Phones, and Windows Phones were great. They were awesome. Like, I loved them. Their OS was great. The tile system worked so well. I don't know if you remember that tile system was getting carried over across a lot of their devices back then.
Yeah, Windows 8. Yeah, the full screen start. Yeah, they were trying.
And it was good. And they had really, honestly, they had gotten really good at the Zune and like all that other shit. But then nobody bought it because they were too late. And so the same thing might be happening here. I don't know if they're going to be even like, it's like they have to sell their customers on the vision before they ever sell their customers on a box. And that might be the problem. So let's hope, because I love seeing new gadgets and I love seeing new markets. So let's hope that they actually can get to the spot they need to in 2027 to launch a box that is sort of a hybrid. Because just like Lauren says, we are both huge PC gamers. I would love to see PC gaming succeed more. And more people get to play games on PC because, in my opinion, that's the best platform. But I don't know. I am really not sure about the price of this thing because, like, the ROG Xbox Ally X, even though everyone's like it's $1,000, so that immediately turns everybody off. They're gone. And if they're gonna offer a console or whatever, $800 in 2027, everyone's gonna be like, "Fuck off!" Doesn't matter how good it is. So I am worried for them, but I'm excited to see what they're making.
I am too, and yeah, I share your concerns. I mean, I guess I've seen headlines that the ROG Xbox Ally X is selling out, but who knows what the stock is. And also, that's the exact market that's going to buy everything they can right away, the PC dudes that have too much money. Yeah, I hope there's a future there. I can if there's a way to communicate to somebody that, like, this is an $800 box. Yeah, it's more expensive, but you can finally access like all these games that you can't access on PlayStation. The thing is, yeah, I think brand affinity is already too strong. And I think in general, maybe the mega gamers that want that or have heard about it but can't access it or are intimidated by the PC platform or something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure that crossover is super huge. It seems like the positioning of it is like the ultimate gaming device, right? It's more powerful. It accesses more stores. It can do more. It can do like productivity tasks. I don't know if that sales pitch is going to work either. I think because like PlayStation 5 Pros aren't really flying off the shelf either. So I don't think that people are just out there trying to buy the premium thing because it's pitched as the premium thing. It'll be interesting to see. It really will. I think if they have the handheld there and then the console comes out, then maybe some neurons start firing. If somebody's like, oh, if I get this and I start buying games on Steam, well, that carries over to every laptop I own. It carries over to the ROG Xbox Ally. It carries over to any PC I will own in the future versus being, kind of trapped on PlayStation's ecosystem. Which, they treat their customers pretty well too, despite all the video game markups. Just in terms of the hardware and stuff like that. They're still making pretty good hardware. So I don't know. I don't know if that moment will click for people that are either already invested in an ecosystem or maybe intimidated by that ecosystem. It's going to be really fascinating to see though, because as we talk about the Ally, I still see a lot of comments that I feel like don't quite fully get it, of people speculating like, will it run this or will it run that? If a PC can run it, it will. As far as whether it does it in full screen experience is up in the air. Yeah, I think its education is going to be the main thing. And beyond that, even if people get it, will there be enough of them that actually want it? So yeah, two interesting hurdles to see coming up for Xbox.
And here's one thing I never even thought of before. Is Microsoft trying to capitalize on the same market twice? Like, we are PC gamers and we have Windows, right? We a lot of us obviously have free versions of Windows, but there are a lot of us that have paid for Windows. So we paid for Windows because of our PC, so that we could play PC games. So I'm wondering if they're trying to like now milk just that market twice. Like if they're like, you can play PC games on your Xbox, and you're like, but I already have a PC. Have they already sold that market on PC gaming because we already have Windows on our PC? I don't know. It's just something I had thought of. And obviously, again, they've got all the market research and things like that. But are they just trying to squeeze us dry? Or are they trying to find an entirely new market? I'm not sure.
I would guess it's the second one. They want everyone logging in. They want everyone using Copilot. I think they just want to capture people to their ecosystem. And if your point of entry is a gaming console or a gaming PC, I think they're just happy to have your data and your sign in either way. But yeah, I think they're... What it seems like their vision to profits is, at least at the Xbox layer, is just getting people sign in and getting their $30 a month. Sheesh.
Yeah, for Game Pass. That's true. That's a good point. Thank you very much for choosing to watch Inside Games. We appreciate it. Hopefully, we've noticed you are hyping our videos on YouTube, only on mobile. Apparently, you can only hype on mobile. So thank you for doing that. We obviously love doing this stuff. We do it every day because we just have a blast doing it. So we'd also like to shout out some gamers that support our show directly through Patreon, the Inside Games Patreon. We are pleased to announce that Cap and Capacitor, Mason Hoover, Talia Monochrome, Bakubam, they are all Xboxes.
Transformed like that evil computer in Superman 3 and Brainiac. Terrifying. I don't know. I've been playing Silent Hill. I got body horror on the mind.